Okay, let's customize the homepage of the Gratia design. Here we're looking at the design and menus area, the visual editor, and you can get here by clicking on design and menus from your admin panel in the back end, and it's going to load this visual editor for the homepage. And all of our solo sites have a very different layout for each design, and this is Gratia, and we're going to edit this. Let's start here on the left and just walk our way down. Site identity takes care of your site title, tagline, description. If you want to swap out the logo, this is the place to do it. If you don't have a logo, the text that you enter here for site title will appear right here. But it's always nice to have a logo, and if you are able to have one designed for you or design one, then you want to make sure that it's no more than 400 pixels wide and 180 pixels tall, and we'll do the rest of the resizing. The site icon is what appears up here. It's not necessary that you replace it, but if you do have an icon or something that you would like to go here, this is the place to change that out. And then the images that you want associated with your website when links from your website are shared on Facebook or Twitter. You can decide which image will appear with those links. So it's a pretty nifty little tool here. Moving to colors, this is where you can edit the primary color, this accent red right here. So by default we have these colors set, and we know that churches have their own look and feel to their materials, their bulletin, their logo, their signs, and this is where you can match your look and feel to all of those materials. So you can drag and drop the little circle here and choose a new color, or if you know the exact hex color, you can just type that in here. And what we recommend you do is we want a couple different shades of this so that when you hover there's a little bit of interaction and play in the color. So if this is the color that you landed on, you can just go ahead and select that and copy it, and then you're going to just paste that in here, and you want to get a light version of it, so let's just go up and get a little bit lighter version, and now let's paste it again and let's get a darker version. So you can see I just went down for dark and up for light, and what that does, it just gives a little bit of interaction to the buttons and brings buttons and links and various other things to life. And we use these three shades throughout the entire site to bring everything together. So we've set the color, and now homepage. Homepage covers from right here all the way down to right above the footer, everything that is unique just to the homepage. This top nav bar is on every page, and this bottom footer is also on every page, but everything in between is unique to the homepage. So we're here in the homepage, and you can swap out the image here, the background image, and we provide a large library. We've integrated with Unsplash, and they have beautiful free images, and you can just click on this link and Unsplash integration pops up, and you can just type in anything like Bible, and let's say you wanted to use this image right here. You would just click on it, and it downloads it from Unsplash, resizes it, makes all the various sizes, and then saves it. And you'll see a green check mark appear here when it's all finished. And yep, there it is. And then if you come over here, you can change this out, and you'll see that there's the image right there. If for some reason the image doesn't load here, you're just going to want to come up here and publish the changes that you've made up until this point, and then go ahead and refresh this page. And once it refreshes, you come here, you will see the image that you downloaded. Sometimes it shows up right away, but sometimes you do need to refresh that. So you've chosen your image. Let's go ahead and just change that out. And the great thing, you get a visual live preview right away, so you can see how that image looks. Looks good to me. First line of text, second line of text. Every item here has its own text box here on the left. The button text, where you want it to link to. We've got plenty of description here for you to take a look at, and some micro copy, some details to guide you as you edit the home page. Where you want the button to link, if you want the entire banner to link to a specific page. And one thing to note here, sometimes you may want to just have a graphic here, perhaps for a sermon series that's coming up, and then link to that sermon series or an important event. And if that's the case, all you have to do is delete the first line of text, second line of text, and the banner button. And when you delete these three things here, it'll be empty and open, and then you can just choose a banner image link, which is where the entire banner will link to if somebody were to click on it. And then you upload your graphic here instead of going to the media library or choosing an image from the Unsplash image integration that we have. You can just upload a file and put that here. But if you don't have a graphic designer or somebody to volunteer in your church for that, we've designed every one of our designs to look good without a graphic here, and you can put in text unique to your need. Well, there's the banner, and next to the banner we have the sidebar, and you can enter in any content you want here really, and for each of these lines we have a text field for you to be able to edit that, as well as the link at the end if you want to link to something and where to link that. Here you might want to put your service times or an invitation so that visitors see something clear right away. A note on that, above this upper part of the website, when somebody lands, it's wise to have some warm invitations to visitors so that they can find out about your church or plan a visit or see your service times. A lot of people will first check out a church's website before they go to the church, and it's nice to have some helpful information right here up top for visitors. And your church members, we want to have stuff for them as well, but they're usually going to dig a little bit more or scroll down and go to the sermons or read a blog or check out the events. So this is a nice place to have some warm invitations to new visitors. And if you want to have this nice accent where it shows your primary color here, you just want to surround any text that you want to change colors with this span tag, and you just put the span, the opening span here before the text, and the closing span, which is signified by this little / before span, and that says that it's closed. That's about as complicated as anything in Solicides get. So if you can copy this, right click it, copy, and come in here, right click and paste, and then put your text inside of there, then you can do pretty much anything in the website. So that's if you want to make a nice little accent color here. Alright, featured content. We try to make all of these sections stand alone, so if you wanted to remove this, you would just remove the image, remove the text, and remove the paragraph, and this entire area would collapse, and this featured resource would be bumped up under the banner here. But if you want to use this section, then you can put an image here, some custom text, and a paragraph. That's the featured content. Recent resources. This is if you want to highlight your recent sermons or recent posts. So you can decide if you want sermons or posts to go here, and everything will be automatically populated. We recommend that you use images with all of your pages, posts, sermons, and events. People like to see pictures, they like to see people, and when there's no image, sometimes they'll read, but when there is an image, it draws their eye to it, and they're more likely to click on it or to read the title and be engaged. And so please, if you can, and you have the capability to, use images, and we have provided that Unsplash integration so that you can use thousands, hundreds of thousands of images for anything that you need in your Solicite. And featured page. You just choose the page that you want to feature here. We'll grab the title the intro snippet, the button linking to that page, and the featured image. And you can give this section a title if you'd like, or you could just delete it and this would be removed. And lastly, recent posts, featured pages, or upcoming events. And you get to just choose what you want to come here. The most recent blog post might populate here if you want that, and it'll just highlight the most recent one every time you publish a new one. The most recent will appear here. An upcoming event, the soonest event from this moment right now. So if there's an event scheduled for tonight in your events, then that will appear here. If their next event is Sunday and there's nothing between now and Sunday, that will appear here. So this is some dynamic content. It's always going to be updated. Very nice feature so that the home page is not always static. Or you could choose a featured page. Maybe you have something that you just want to highlight, and that can be populated here. So I'll leave it at upcoming event. And that's it for the home page section. And we've reached the bottom, which brings us to the footer. And you can put a light version of your logo here and select the file. Keep it the same dimensions as what you're using up top here. This would be a dark version of your logo over a white background. And down here you'd want a light version, or just really one color, white or grayscale logo, to go here over this black background. And if you don't have that, it's just going to grab your site title, which still looks very nice here. You can change your social verbiage, connect, follow us, and all you do for your social media pages, if you have a Facebook page for your church or your ministry, you just paste that here. Same with Twitter, same with an email address. If you don't want to have your email address or you don't have Facebook, you just delete those things and it will automatically update here. So whether you have the content or not, Sola sites on most things will adapt so that it still looks good with or without the content. And lastly, the copyright details here at the bottom. You can just delete this if you wanted, and it would just say copyright 2019, or you can put your church's name with a period, all rights reserved, and that will populate automatically. And lastly, menus. And this is where you can add menu items either to the footer menu or here in the primary menu. And default comes with two menus here. And you can just come in here and add items. So let's say we want to add this get started with pages again. Okay, we've already got it here, but just for the sake of this tutorial. And we've added the page, but you can drag it to the right to nest it as a child under events. And what that will do is when you hover here, now you have a child events. Or you can have it as a top level item, and it's going to appear next to this when you publish the site. So that's how you add items and menu items, and you can drag them around in the menu, and then you would just come here and remove it if you don't want it to be in your site. Now, desktop and mobile can have two different menus, and that may be the case if you want to have different links for mobile experience and tablet experience versus desktop experience. So if that is the case, you just want to have your primary menu set to either desktop or mobile or both, and in this case it's set to both. And if you did want to have a different menu just for mobile, you would just create a new menu and you would call it mobile menu and choose it to appear on mobile devices. We're not going to do that right now, but that's how you would do it. And that's it for customizing your homepage. And you can see already just changing out some images, changing your color, and if we were to have uploaded a logo, you get quite a bit of customization in just a matter of minutes in your Sola site. The chat bubble is always here, so reach out to us if you need any help along the way, and we hope that the Lord uses your website to reach your congregation and to reach your community.